So, as you just saw, I already started a bunch, but I'm gonna have to start some more because, unfortunately, this entire tray, a mouse got into as they were sprouting and dug up and ate all of the little plants as they were coming up. And there's a couple you can see. There's one where he just ate the top off. There's a little stem there, but most of them were dug out completely. And ate all of them, so I have to restart all of those. And that's actually going to work out all right because now I can see what kind of germination rate I got on the ones that the mouse didn't get. And if I need to start some more to make up for the ones that didn't come up, I can do that now. I started by emptying all of the containers so I could fluff up the soil and reuse it. The potting mix is very dry, so to start, I like to fill the containers about 3/4 of the way full, and then spritz them with water so that the moisture can start working its way down from the middle. After that, I fill them up the rest of the way and get ready to plant. Today I'm planting peppers. Most seed packets will have the proper planting depth listed on the back. In this case, it's 1/4 inch. I like to use an ID stake to make the correct size hole in each cell. Then I also use it to drag each little seed out of the packet and into its hole. Pepper plants can be started anywhere from 8 to 12 weeks before last frost. Here in central Kentucky, we're in zone 6B, and last frost usually happens somewhere in early to mid-May. That means that pepper plants can be started as early as mid-February, but it's now mid-March and I'm just getting to it, which is also fine. Once the seeds are all placed and covered with soil, I spritz them with the spray bottle again, and then I set them in a tub of water so they can soak up from the bottom as well. It's very important to make sure your plants are labeled so you can keep track of which variety is which. I may do some more this evening, but that's all I'm going to do for right now. Once they're fully watered and saturated good, I put them over here on the heat mat. and I put a cover on them, which helps keep the moisture in and help them keep a little bit warmer. The heating mat has really made a big difference for me as far as getting a good germination rate, and also things germinate faster, especially heat-loving plants such as tomatoes and peppers, which these are all peppers, and I've been doing tomatoes too. If you haven't had good luck with germination and that, I would recommend trying one. They're not all that expensive. I bought this several years ago, and honestly I can't remember exactly how much I paid for it, but I just looked on Amazon really quick and you can get a small one for less than $20. And then of course there's larger ones. This one's 48 inches long and I can fit 3 or 4 trays on it if I need to. So that's nice, but it's really made a big difference for me as far as germination rates, and they germinate a lot faster on this than they do without it. So they're gonna, excuse me, they're gonna be here for a couple of days, and then once they start to germinate, once half or more of them have germinated, I will move them over to the grow lights. I have my grow light set up in here. I've got room for 4 trays, and I just wanted to mention a couple things with them that I didn't know when I first used it. When I first used it, I thought the lights were supposed to be on all the time, and that's not the case. You're supposed to have them on during the day and turn them off at night, because you're basically simulating sunlight, you know, the night and day cycle. And the other thing is I had the lights way up here away from the plants, but what happens when you do that is the plants really have to stretch to get to the light, so that causes them to be really tall and leggy and weak. So you don't want to do that. What you want is the lights down within just an inch or so of the plants like I have here, and that'll help them grow at a more even rate, and it'll help them be stronger when it's time to start hardening them off and planting them outside. As far as the soil I use, I used both of these. I'm using both of these this year, and I've used both of them in past years and had good luck. If I had to choose, I would prefer the Miracle-Gro, but they both work just fine. They're both specifically for seed starting, and I'm sure other regular potting soils and all that work, but I've had really good luck with these, so that's what I use. And these 6-pack pots I got off of Amazon. I got, I think, 120 of them for like $16, which works out to like 14 cents each, and you know, that'll probably last me several years, so that's well worth it to me. But I do just want to add that you don't need all of this. Like I said, I'm sure regular potting soils, or even just go out in your yard and get some soil, will work fine. You can use whatever containers you have available. I've seen people use egg cartons and cut off milk jugs and paper cups, you know, whatever you have available to you. And as far as the seed mat and the grow lights, like I say, the seed mat wasn't all that expensive, and I am really glad I bought it, but you don't need that. You absolutely can do this without it. In fact, there's a lot of, you know, I'm choosing to start things indoors so I can get them started a little bit earlier and have a longer growing season, but that's absolutely a choice, especially, you know, I'm in a place where I actually have a long enough growing season. I could just start tomatoes and stuff from direct seeding, and I would still have a long enough growing season to get a harvest from them, but you know, I want them a little bit earlier and I want a longer growing season, so I'm choosing to start them earlier, but I don't have to do that. And most of the things that I'm going to grow, I'm not going to start indoors, or I might start a few just so I can have some earlier, but I'll wait on the rest. But you know, zucchini, squash, cucumbers, greens, lettuce, all of these things do very well. In fact, some of them do even better when they're just directly seeded in the ground rather than starting them indoors. So you don't have to do this, and you don't need everything that I'm using here to do this if you choose to. You know, I'm very fortunate. Like I say, I bought this a few years ago, and it's been really helpful to me. And the Grow Light, I'm really fortunate to have that. The only reason I have it is because my mom bought it for me probably 10 or 15 years ago at a yard sale before I was even really into gardening. I was still in high school, but she bought it for me, and you know, finally within the last several years I started using it, and it's been great to have. So thanks, Mom. But you know, if I didn't have it, I'd have to find another way to do it, and there are other ways to do it. But it has been really nice for me to have. So you know, if you can afford, I know grow lights are a little bit pricey, but if you can afford that and the seed mats and the right soil and all that, it definitely helps. I've had really good luck using this setup, using this soil starting mix, and it's worked well for me, and it saves me money over buying already started plants. But there are other ways to do it, and all this just to say, don't be intimidated by all this and think that you need special things and special soil and all that to do this, because there are many other ways to do it with whatever you already have available. So with all that said, I really hope you give a try to starting your own seeds if you haven't before, and I wish you good luck with it, and hope you stick around to see how mine do as we go through this gardening season, because that could be pretty interesting. But I hope you give it a try, and I hope I've been a little bit of help to you, and good luck!